I think there's basically an ADHD type 1 and 2. While some people are born with ADHD genetically, they have it in their system. They naturally have bad attention spans. And the other side of people, the type 2, that is manufactured ADHD. It's basically somebody, a lot of us actually, that watch short form content or consume high amounts of quick instant gratification dopamine, which leads us to develop type 2. And why I'm saying type 1 and 2? Well, it's very easy because take a disease like diabetes. There's diabetes type 1 and 2. Type 1 is genetic. Basically, a person is going to get it, and even if they were healthy. And type 2 is somebody that has extremely bad eating habits, and it's become a lot more prominent, especially in the West, because there are so many obese people that just so happen to develop type 2 diabetes because they eat junk. The same way we're developing type 2 ADHD. And the reason this is so crazy is because it started to bleed into our work lives. And I'm not talking about those of us that want to achieve something, we want to motivate ourselves to do more work, but we procrastinate, we end up scrolling all day. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking just general work. Your job, the job you work, has become harder because you cannot focus. And what makes me say this? The other day, I was talking to a close person of mine, and she was saying, "Hey, at work, it's hands-on type of work, but they also have to write reports every now and then, and there is basically short deadlines and high pressure. You get a certain amount of time allocated to write up a lot of reports. Like you got to write pages and pages of text, and." People that have better attention spans, either it's the slightly older generation or the young people that have good habits and they don't spend their entire day scrolling, they don't have a huge, screen time, they're able to complete the reports within a certain period of time that's given to them, even though it is high pressure. And she was sharing how a colleague of hers, she was given the exact same time, but she's completed when it was time to, they had one day left and everybody was checking how much more do they have left to write. She was basically 5 to 10% done. And honestly, obviously people are going to ask, what the hell's going on there? Where is all of that person's time going? They're being allocated this time. Are they just sitting and doing nothing? Yes. They are sitting and doing nothing. They cannot concentrate. It just so happens that individual, as far as I know, has quite a high dopamine instant gratification lifestyle where most of the food that they eat is just snacks, sugary snacks, and they drink energy drinks all day, coffee and energy drinks. And most of the time they also spend it moderately high, especially when they're at home. So it's no wonder that they cannot focus. And that individual would also be getting prescribed medication. They take pills and shit to mitigate those symptoms. So type 2 diabetes, I'm just saying that it's not, I don't think it's a real thing, but it's become a real thing. It's just not coined that way. It's getting lumped in together with type 1, which is the original ADHD, which is people that have it genetically. Type 2 would be like, you don't actually have it, you've just made it. You got symptoms of it, but you can also get rid of those symptoms. You can also reverse the process. But I'm not here to talk about, how to get rid of it, what to do. All of us, I'm pretty sure, know by now what causes it and how do we get rid of it. But the point is, it's leaching into our lives in real time, and doctors are prescribing medication for it as if it was the original ADHD. That's the scary part. And that individual that, for example, cannot write a report because she cannot sit there and actually put her brain to work and focus, because imagine, what is writing a work report as opposed to scrolling on your phone? It's night and day difference. It would be hard to do for any of us now, actually, to sit down and just write. We have to be really on top of it. It's almost like we have to defend from these urges of quick dopamine. But the point is, this affects the next generations too. So for example, kids. I have a little sister, and naturally she's got a phone and everything at a much younger age than I had. So for her, it's a lot harder to focus in school. It's evident. That's why kids these days are growing up so docile, passive. And I know the previous generation was saying the same thing about Gen Z, which I'm part of. But then you look back and it's just even worse. It's like these kids are, you know, I don't even know how to put it. They look like they're not even fully programmed. It's like you're still writing the code for them because they're not fully there. They're just kind of waiting for the next command. Otherwise, anytime they idle, they're on their phones, scrolling, playing some games, whatever. Imagine, how can those people complete any types of work? Right? It will be nearly impossible, because how can you focus? School has become extremely difficult for them because their mind is all over the place. I didn't really like school either, but I could sit down and get my homework done at least, and then I would go play outside. I'm pretty sure Gen Z was the last generation that played outside when we were young. But that's besides the point. Anyway, just a heads up, stop giving yourselves ADHD. And definitely do not be taking medication that's prescribed to you as if you had actual genetic ADHD. You can fix it yourself. You don't just need to remove and nullify the symptoms. This isn't medical advice. This is just purely observational that a lot of us are feeling and a lot of us know. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.